The vast, overwhelming majority of martial arts and combat sport coaches and instructors are terrible at their jobs. They're idiots. Yes, your coach too. He's probably really bad at his job. I'll explain why. It might not be his fault. It might be something that can be fixed. And he might just be maybe uninformed and not necessarily a total moron. Basically, the way you'll tell the difference is what he does when confronted with information like this. I'm going to give you 5 things. Maybe 6. Let's do 6. I'm going to give you 6 things that coaches do that clearly indicate a lack of proficiency in teaching and possibly mean they're a total nincompoop. And I get it. It's tough being an instructor and coach, especially if you own the school. You got so many people pulling you in so many different directions. It's hard to find time. It's one of the reasons that I drink AG1 by Athletic Greens. It's a nutritional drink. They're the sponsor of this video. This is kind of an all-in-one foundational nutrition between running the gym and getting my own training in, which that's a little bonus one. Here's another way to tell whether your coach is kind of a dummy. How much training does he do? That's a really hard one. I sympathize with every instructor and coach, particularly if you own the gym. Getting your own training in is tough because sometimes it has to come at the expense of your students, and then there's that balance there. I can do that because I've spent a lot of time cultivating a strong culture and staff here, which I'll get into at the end of the video. But this stuff, it's got vitamin B12, K2, riboflavin, manganese. It's got all kinds of good stuff. It's vegan friendly, gluten-free. There's no dairy or any, like, whatever your thing is, like if you're like, well, I'm more of a like this, like it's fine for you too. Me personally, I feel a lot better when I drink the AG1 in the morning as opposed to a breakfast. Usually I like to skip breakfast, but some mornings I want something. This is it. The days I drink it, I feel good. The days I don't, I feel like crap. That's why it needs to be kind of like a habit. It's got a ton of great stuff in it made for athletes. Magnesium, vitamin C, ashwagandha. It supports recovery. It's got ingredients that support gut health and immunity, like probiotics and stuff like that. Go click the link. And if you use my link, you get a free year supply of their vitamin D3, K2, and 5 travel packs, which are super useful. These things, I keep these up at the studio, which is awesome when I'm being slack and I forget to drink this at the house. People ask me what it tastes like, and I said last time, like if nutrition had a flavor. It doesn't taste like what it looks like. It tastes kind of like nothing and like something at the same time. It tastes like green water that is full of wonderful nutrients and vitamins and minerals and things that you're supposed to put in your body. That's what it tastes like. Let's jump right into this list. Let's start with the warm-up. Imagine, if you will, that a room full of adults have hired you to teach them a skill. And that skill is fighting another person. Class starts, they're all in their shorts, they got their hands wrapped or whatever, and you tell them to run around the room in circles. This is insulting, inane, stupid, pointless, and a waste of time. Where this comes from, and this might be one of those ones where maybe it's not totally your fault, they just do that because that's what their coach did. What is the point of a warm-up? Like we're supposed to get our body and our mind ready for the thing that we are about to do. Why would you not construct a drill? Why would you not do something that has something to do with your sport? We only have a limited amount of time. The vast majority of your students are training at most 3-4 hours a week. Your fighters are training a lot more. Maybe jogging is something that they should be doing. But if your guy's only coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to class, and you spend 10% of his training time running in a circle, he deserves a refund. You just have him jog because your coach had you jog. And every coach of every sport, of every team ever has probably at some point had people jog. By the way, I've done everything on this list. But I realized how stupid it was by learning and studying under better instructors than me, and was like, I should stop doing that. That's stupid. That's how you tell the difference of whether or not your coach is a moron or just kind of ignorant what he does with this information. There's also a really good chance that your coach is just having you jog to fill time because he hasn't thought of anything else to do during that time, either just to pad the class time or really doesn't know how to construct a drill that could help warm up the athletes for the thing that they're about to do. That brings us directly into number 2, which is constructing drills. What is a drill? It's not, hey, I'm gonna go jab, cross, hook, low kick, and you're gonna catch, block, check, and then you do it back to me. That's not a drill. That reinforces bad habits, that makes people lazy, that stifles creativity. Drills have a goal. Like, one guy has a goal, and the other guy is gonna try to stop him with varying levels of resistance. Sometimes they can have the same goal. Sometimes they have different goals. It gets really complex. And I don't fault, newer or younger instructors, but just like you can get better at punching and kicking or strangling and breaking arms, you can get better at teaching. It's like not filling, so I don't feel like I want to barf. But I still, if I'm hungry, I can just burp a little bit. I get to taste it again.
No, we need two over here.
You ever do that? You ever burp up some food just to taste it again? Real quick, right in the middle here, I want to talk about Southpaws. Ugh, yuck. The number one pet peeve of mine, whenever we get a Southpaw, they tell me about things that they've experienced at other gyms. If you do these things, you don't know what you're doing. Pairing the Southpaws together exclusively, having the Southpaw and his partner just do the same thing on the other side of the person's body, or the worst, having the Southpaw switch to orthodox just to make it simpler and easier for either the other people, or let's be more realistic here, yourself. These are all fireable offenses. If someone did that here, I would fire them. Structured sparring. Do you know what all your athletes do well and do poorly? And do you structure their practice to address those things? Either help them funnel people towards their A game or fill in deficiencies. Are you running a practice, or are you allowing the inmates to run the asylum? The round time matters.
On my breathing a lot, so.
The break time matters. It all needs to be intentional. You got a room full of people who by necessity are self-absorbed. Likely there's some bipolar and some sociopaths. Like, if we're talking about fighters, let's be honest. Higher concentration of people with bipolar, sociopaths, narcissists, right? Fighters, right? Likely some people with some mild CTE, right? No. Likely people working through things that were either bullied or abused, and that's why they found martial arts, right? And they're working through all their own fears and insecurities, and you're gonna let them decide the who, what, when, where, and how of what they do, for how long, against who, when. It's madness, it's insanity. No, the coach should be in charge. Legs and body. Who do I got? Who's don't have a partner? I'm lost. I see a room full of people who've hired you to lead them, and they get to just kind of wander around and do what they want with their training time. Like, they're training themselves. Showing them like what they do, like, oh, your shoulders got to go like this when you jab. First of all, it doesn't. It just doesn't. Like, people are winning world titles punching like this. Strategy, tactics, that's how people are winning fights. That's what y'all should be working on in practice. The problem is it's not always fun, and it's not ego affirming. Your fighters aren't going to want to do drills that require them to concede and cooperate with a person and provide a regulated level of resistance against someone they can beat up in real life on the day that they came in thinking, hey, I get to beat people up. But that's what fights are for. That's why you have fights, which is the fifth thing that I think really stupid coaches get wrong. Booking fights is managing a career, which is a separate and different skill set from coaching, which is a separate and different skill set from instructing, which is a separate and different skill set from fighting. And I may or may not know a lot about managing careers. My personal approach is I hold on to fighters for a very long time. I have them train for a long time. They have to train for 3 months before they can spar. They spar for a long time. They do semi-contact. They do sanctioned, organized events in which we have a lot of control over the brackets they enter and the types of opponents they'll face. And I have even lost fighters because I wouldn't book them fights. Because my job ultimately is to teach and coach them to the best of my ability and to keep them safe and healthy. Satisfying their ego is not, it's not last on my list. It's not on my list. I have zero interest in that. I would ask my coach if he wanted me to fight, like, why? What are we going to do here? Like, what's the purpose of this? I think that most of the time they don't have an answer other than, don't you want to be a fighter? The truth is the guy might not even know. He's just having you fight because you said you wanted to be a fighter. And when he said he wanted to be a fighter, his coach had him fight. The last one's pretty funny. I hear it a lot in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu talks. Oh, white belts coaching white belts. Letting students teach things and instruct things. They're probably just saying what you would say there anyway, or they should be. If you've trained people for any amount of time and they can't help somebody else, that's on you. And even the absolute dumbest, stupidest coach and instructor actually can overcome this and understand this really quickly. You have a small class. You've got a professional fighter with 2 or 3 years of fighting under his belt. He has a fight coming up in a couple months. You got an amateur fighter, been killing it lately. You've got a soccer mom, her teenage daughter, and then you got a guy who's been here for 8 months and comes to every class. A new student walks in the door, trial class. Who do you partner him with? I'll wait for you to try to think, try to justify, because you know where I'm going, that it's going to be one of those fighters. I would even argue that maybe the soccer mom might be a better choice than one of the fighters. It's that dude that's been there for 8 months. It's that dude. I promise you, you should put your trial class guy with that dude. And if you don't, you definitely are a moron. You're like even dumb guys who say stuff like white belts coaching white belts, right? Even they should probably get this. It's the guy that's been here for 8 months. You're either dishonest or an idiot if you think that anyone else in the room is the best person to work with that new guy who's just come in the front door. You're either a liar or a moron. That's it. The Southpaw thing and this one, the rest we can maybe work with. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know a lot about teaching. Maybe you don't know a lot about how people learn things. You can go to school, just like you went to school, whether it was the gym, the dojo, or the school of hard knocks, to learn your craft. You can go to a school and learn how to teach people things. And that's how to teach people things, not even specifically martial arts. But you don't have to. You can just get good at it through practice. Like as if maybe your coach had allowed you more opportunities to train and teach people who were new. Maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's your coach's fault. But maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's his coach's fault. Maybe it's nobody's fault. But after today, after this, it's going to be your fault.